In this video, I'm going to show you 14 text functions in Google Sheets. 14 text functions in Google Sheets. First one here is called text, and what it does, it changes a number into a text with some modifications if you want. So to use it, I'll type text, give it my number. Now I may want it to have 2 decimal places, so I'll do that and press enter. Now, because it is aligned to the left, that by default all texts are aligned to the left, this one makes it to be a text. Next is toText function. You are changing a number to a text. So what I'll say, to text, as it converts a numeric value to a text. As you see, this is my numeric value to be converted into a text. And as I said, texts are aligned to the left. So you can see this one is a text now. If you did computations, they may not work. Next is the text join function. What it does is to join text. You give it a number of texts, then it joins them. So the first argument is the delimiter. Delimiter is how do you want these joined texts to be separated by. It can be a space, it can be a comma, a dash, whatever you wish. So in my case, I'm going to use a space. Then the next argument is if whatever you're joining has spaces and you want them to be skipped, you enter true. And the next argument is the text that you want to join. So in my case, I'm gonna say John is one of the texts. Give it another one. I say is, then another one, man. So when I do that, you see the text which is separate is joined into one, and it says John is a man. The other way to join text, they could be in separate cells, and you want to join them into one cell. So you can also use text join, and all you do, of course, the first argument is how do you want these ones to be separated by a space. If at all there's a space here, do I want it to be ignored? I'll say yes. Then the next is what I want to join, close brackets, and you get John is a man. So it can be in separate cells where you join them into one, or you can type and hard code them and have them joined. The next is concatenate, and how concatenate works, it joins 2 values. So I could have John here, and also is a man right there. And I want to join them like so. I can leave a space. And if at all there are 2, we use the concatenate. And of course, I think also it can work when you're joining 2 separate ones, like so. John is. However, if you tried to put the third, I believe it will not work because concatenate works only for 2. you want it to work for more than 2, then you have to use the full word concatenate. So all I have to do is say concatenate, and I choose that. So here I can have more than 2, and I'll see John is a man. So if you want spaces in here, what you can do, you go to the end, put a space, go to the end, put a space, go to the end, put a space, and it comes out well, John is a man. So concat, remember, deals with only 2, and concatenate joins more than 2. The next here is it returns a boolean because it tests isText is another function that you can use to test whether the value you are testing is a text or it is not a text. If it is a text, it will return true. If it is not a text, it will return false. So how do I use it? I will say is text, comma, I direct it to that. This is now a number, because how do I know? Because it's aligned to the right, and it returns false. Because it is a number, and I'm taking whether it is a text, it returns false, meaning that this number is not a text. However, if it is a text, I put an apostrophe there to make it a text, and I check it with is text. It will return true because despite their numbers, because it has an apostrophe at the beginning, it returns a text. Moving on is non-text. Now this one checks the opposite of what is number. So if this one is a number and is not non-text, it will return true because it is actually a non-text because it is a number. And for a text, it will return false. So to test that, we say is a non-text. This is a number, so to return true. And if I copy it down here, to return false because this is a text, this is a number. So what this one does, it checks the opposite of isText. Next, I want to take formula text. What this one does, it displays the formula in a given cell. So I say formula in text form. In other words, it changes the formula to a text format. So it will display the formula or the function that I have in this cell H4. So when I type formula text and I say enter, it will displays the formula in that cell. Moving on, next is find function. What the find function does, it returns a position of a given text, and I tell it where to start checking. So I want H, comma, the text that we are going to check, and I start from 1. If I do that, I'll get position 3, meaning that it started checking from position 1, which is H, and it was checking for H in this word. So it said 1, 2, 3. It found the H at position 3. If I did this as 4, it will return an error because it starts at position 4 and looks for H, and it does not see H because it will go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm starting here going to my right, and I don't find the H, so I return my value error. Next, I have another function called findB, and what it does, it searches for a given value, the text it searches, and where to start, more or less like the other one. So I'm going to search for RE. Where do I search in that? And I start at 1. It tells me the position of RE is 2. So if I start from here, RE becomes second position because I'm taking RE together. So RE together is in second position. Next is the left function. So all that it does, you get the left, give it the text. So starting from the left, how many characters do I want? If I want 3 of them, I'll put 3. So what it return will be GRE. You count G as 1, R as 2, and E as 3, and it returns GRE. My next text function, it does the opposite of the left function. So what do you want? You give it a string, which is that, and counting from the right now, going to the left, I want 2 of them. So it returns EN because now it counts from the right, 1, 2, and returns EN. Next is the mid function. And what the mid function does, you give it a string, the starting position, and the length of what you want it to return. So my string is that. Starting position, I can say start at position 2. And when you start at position 2, count 3 of them and see what it returns. So it starts at position 2, 1, 2. Then it counts 3 with 2 inclusive, 1, 2, 3, and it returns REN. So those are the text functions, 14 of them that I have for you. I hope they have been helpful. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and see you in the next video. Have a great day.